JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 23rd of September 2021. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So check us out here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So now then, good morning to you too, Erica and Evo. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful start of Thursday. Jumping into the charts, guys. Nikkei 225 here. You can see it continues to slide. To be honest, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this because, again, I'm going to just say the same thing so far. So everything's working out here on Nikkei. I mean, the idea was that if we drop below this 30,202 territory, then yes, my next target could be this 29,480 territory near this 21-day EMA or near this upside line. So again, initially we're aiming for this area, but let's see if we can drift a little bit lower after that. But like I said, at the moment it's this target that I'm aiming for. Now, Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index. Haven't looked at this one for quite a while, and let me just remove all the drawings and start fresh. So, unlike Nikkei or, let's say, Shanghai Composite, Hong Kong's Hang Seng has been on a decline since around February, mid-February, guys. I mean, unlike the other indices, this one is just drifting lower, forming these lower highs. We're trading below some of these tentative downside lines, so let me just put them all here on the chart. So something like this is happening here basically, also we have this little tentative downside line, which is the one to watch for now, guys. But for now let's see how this let me just there we go, lift this one a little bit like this. So for now, yes, that's the these are the lines that I'm keeping an eye on. Certainly, don't get me wrong, I mean, it could reverse higher at some point, but there are so many breaks that are required that for now I'm cautiously bearish on this one. Although other indices might travel higher again, but Hong Kong's Hang Seng is the one kind of on the lower side right now, and of course the whole kind of Evergrande situation is not helping the Hong Kong's index here as well. So again, let's see how this is going to play out. For now, looking at this picture, as long as it stays below, let's say, this steep short-term tentative downside line, I'm going to continue targeting the downside. Let me just adjust this a little bit. If it breaks this downside line, certainly yes, we could go for some higher levels here. For now, guys, it's not really looking positive here. If we do break this downside line, the steeper one and shorter term one, then yes, we'll go for slightly higher levels. But again, even then, we'll just have to be very careful near the 21-day EMA and near this other downside line taken from the high of the 28th of June. Now a quick update on the VIX. The volatility index did continue to slide. Yesterday, as you can see, it drifted lower. So anyway, everything's kind of in line with the idea that I talked about. I said that whenever we have a steep spike here on VIX, the next few days we see a bit of a calm session, I would say. However, this is the point where if you want to apply technical analysis on the VIX, then you could keep an eye on this little short-term upside line taken from the low of the 2nd of September. So in a way, what could happen, we could see this one drifting lower, but if it finds support somewhere around here, it might rebound and push back up. So this is how you could at least roughly see how, when to expect maybe a huge decline in the indices, or a huge move in the indices. So yeah, keep that in mind, guys. DAX, the German index. So yeah, drifted back up above this 15,454 level. I talked about this level, and yep. For now, guys, it seems like it's a little bit more on the positive side, but let me just quickly check the cash index, and there we go. We have a huge move to the upside on the cash index. We're currently sitting at around 15,600 levels. So and in a way, I would say like this, that the idea that I talked about yesterday, saying that if it climbs back and stays above this 15,454 territory, then we could go for slightly higher levels, maybe going towards this downside line again, which is taken from the high of the 31st of August. But I would say so far the idea is working out. We're pushing higher. It's currently sitting, the index is currently sitting at somewhere around here. So yeah, it has a little bit of room left here for a possible test of this downside line. Let's see if that if we are able to reach that downside line. But so far, I would say like this, that as long as it stays above this 15,454 territory, yes, we will remain positive for now, because let's not forget we're still trading below this downside line, which could also provide resistance. In terms of the downside on this one, if it falls below the 15,454 territory, then yes, and if it stays below it, then yes, we'll aim for that upside line again. Taken from the low, the 13th of May. NASDAQ, very quickly on that one, good performance yesterday, did push higher. However, we're seeing that there is a bit of a decline happening right now. However, but the index is still above. The cash index is still above yesterday's close. So in a way, the idea here is working out as well. So what I said before, that if we climb back above this 15,157 territory, then yes, we could maybe consider a larger correction to the upside here. So far, exactly that is happening. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not really targeting any higher levels apart from this downside line for now. So the area near this downside line. So yeah, keep that in mind. This downside line is taken from the high of the 10th of September. And then if we do reach that downside line, then we'll take it from there. DXY, the dollar index, so drifting back down a little bit here, of course, understandable. We're seeing a bit of a risk-on environment here, coming back into the trading arena, if we can use these words. So yeah, at the moment we had a good run. We're still having that good run, but at the moment it seems that maybe we're due for a bit of a corrective move lower. However, let's see if that's going to happen. So far, this 93.45 level is doing its job. It's providing resistance. So yeah, now if I will take a bit of a neutral stand on this one at the moment, because if in order to maybe consider lower levels, then a drop below this 93.18 level is needed, and because then yes, we could see a larger correction to the downside towards this upside line taken from the low the 3rd of September. And then maybe a rebound back up could be possible, so keep that in mind. If by any chance this decides not to travel lower straight away and just pops back above this 93.45 level, then yes, I will aim for the highest point of August near the 93.73 level. Silver is quite attractive for the buyers. However, it still poses a bit of a few risks. I mean, looking at it even from the technical side, you can see that overall we're still trading below this downside line taken from the high of the 11th of June, although a bit tentative, but nevertheless a downside line. In terms of the downside here, so now, if this barrier, this 22.88 level, continues somehow to provide resistance, although yesterday we did get an overshoot, but as you can see, the body of the daily candle still ended up being below it. If it continues to trade, if the commodity struggles to overcome this, then maybe another slide like this could be possible here. As you probably understand, I don't really like these situations here. I mean, they're very tricky. I mean, on one hand, we could go for a larger correction. On the other hand, we might find resistance here and drift lower. So that's why sometimes maybe even waiting this one out here, it could be the ideal option. If you've missed this reversal, then probably wait this one out. If we push above and stay above this 22.88 zone, then yes, we'll go for a larger correction. But if we don't, then basically keep your eyes on this 22 level. If we drop below it, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, potentially could open the door towards lower levels. We do have this little obstacle right here, the lowest point of November. But also we do have this little target here as well, the lowest point of September of last year, and then yeah, we'll just have to take it from there, guys. If we do break all of these levels, then certainly yes, lower levels could be met here, and we could see a further decline. But again, long story short, for now, I will say that we are still a little bit more bearish overall on this one, because again, it's just where it is right now, and that's why I'll stick to this game plan right now. But yeah, at the moment, guys, I mean, like I said, at the moment it's not the ideal position here where I would like it to be, but yeah, keep your eyes on these two levels. Right, now, WTI oil, so pushing nicely to the upside, traveling above, well, remaining above this 21-day EMA, and in general above all of its EMAs. We're coming back to this current highest point of September near the 73.11. In order to get comfortable with the upside, a break of that level would be needed. So until then, I'm also a little bit careful here. Similar as with silver, I'm kind of waiting for a clear breakthrough one of these levels, either through the 73.11 or through the 69.88 level. Ethereum, so beautiful reversal yesterday here, as you can see, and yep, after finding support this week near the 2,651 level, it reversed and pushed back up, and now we are well, we are back, kind of trying to climb higher, trying to go for this larger correction. However, as you can see, at the moment we do have a little bit of an obstacle here. This inside swing low of the 13th of September near the 3,115 level, which is currently providing that resistance. So in a way, if we climb above it, then yes, certainly we'll go for this downside line. But if it continues to provide hold up this barrier here, this one right here, the 3,115, then maybe another slide lower, another slide could be possible. AUDJPY, very quickly on that one. So I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but as you can see, so far kind of the idea worked out here. The one that I had with an arrow, where I said that if this downside line continues to provide resistance, then my next target is the 79.40 level, which we managed to reach. Now the big question here is, can we see another slide? Can we see another hold up near this downside line? Well, at the moment, I would say let's wait and see, because again, at this point in time, whenever it gets closer to the downside line, as many times that it tests the more chances it has to break it. However, until we see that break, we cannot really assume that it will be this time when it's going to break. Maybe it's just going to continue testing this downside line and continue sliding. So be very careful because, again, a very nice area of support here is near this 77.90 level marked by the lowest point of August. So let's keep that in mind. Also, if you're a little bit more on the cautious side, you could wait for a drop below this little hurdle right here, below this 78.86 level. A nice good drop below it would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and as I said, the next target could be that 77.90 level. For the upside, now what I would prefer here is to not only see a break of this downside line, but also a push above yesterday's high near the 79.95 level, and then we'll go for slightly higher levels. USDJPY, and this is what a perfect example when I say that wait for that confirmation break, wait for that the body of the daily candle to remain outside of a certain formation, and in particular here on this triangle, as you can see, I said to wait for that break, wait for that kind of candle staying below the certain level, and yep, this is exactly why. We had a bit of a tease, we broke this upside line, which is the lower side of the triangle, we tested the 109.11 and we reversed sharply back up. So again, be very careful in situations like this. For now, I'm taking neutral stand on this one, and I'm just observing the price action, because in order even to go for some higher levels, maybe a push above somewhere above this level here, the 110.16 would be needed, because at the same time we would break the upper side of the triangle. Now USDCHF, so far so good, I would say. I mean, after we had a good move here to the upside, what I said before, that might drift a little bit lower. However, what I said previously was that maybe it'll find support near this level, near the 0.9275. Well, that was my ideal scenario, and I would say the ideal scenario didn't really work out. But the other scenario was what I said, that even if it breaks, the next possibility for the bulls to step in could be somewhere near this upside line taken from the low, the 6th of September. And yeah, so we had a nice rebound from this upside line. Now what I'm keeping an eye on, of course, is this level that I talked about previously, the 0.9275. In order to go for the upside, we need to see a nice good break above it. So far, this level continues to act as a bit of a resistance. And to be honest, if DXY starts drifting heavily to the downside today, then well, we could see maybe another retest of this upside line, maybe even a break of it. So let's wait and see. In terms of the downside breakout level, this is where I will adjust, and this is where I will take this low, the 0.9215. A nice good drop below it may open the door towards, towards lower levels. GBP Aussie, so haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but overall we're still trading above this upside support line taken from the low of the 7th of January. Also, we are trading above this upside line, another tentative line taken from the low of the 10th of May, and yeah, so for now, I would say let's be very careful here on this one. Let's be very cautious, and if this upside line taken from the low of the 10th of May does continue to provide support, then yes, we'll continue targeting the upside. Another thing to watch, of course, is this hurdle here, the 1.8762, which so far somehow acts as a good area of support. As you can see, previously it did so, and recently did so as well, but yeah, can it do the same thing again? Well, let's wait and see. For now, I'm kind of, like I said, I'm considering maybe a bit of a decline here, but let's be very careful and down. Also, guys, keep your eyes on the BOE interest rate decision. I mean, no surprises there, but nevertheless, let's see how everything's going to shape up, and yeah, let's see how the market reacts, because we also are going to get the BOE meeting minutes. And we'll have a bit of an outlook on the BOE's views of the economy. So long story short, again, we could see some increased volatility here today on the GBP pairs, but for now, specifically with GBP Aussie, keep your eyes on, like I said, on this hurdle. Even if we drift lower a little bit here, then if it provides support, this area, this whole area right here, if it provides support, a nice rebound could be possible. EURGBP. So this one, I'm still watching this one, and I'm still talking about the same level, the 0.8595 level here. You can see that yesterday we had a nice push above it. We traveled higher, but we failed to stay above it. Today it seems that again it wants to go higher, but we need that confirmation break. So far we're not getting that, so again, let's see how this is going to play out. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside. However, this is EURGBP we're talking about, and sometimes it has a mind of its own, so that's why, guys, be very careful on that one. And for now, like I said, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside, but let's see how this is going to play out. Again, there's one pair which I'm really sometimes unsure about, and that's EURGBP. I mean, at the moment, you can apply technical analysis on it a lot, but it sometimes just does what it wants to do. So again, if by any chance it drops somewhere below this 0.8563 territory and stays below it, this could also mean that the rate is below 21-day EMA and below all of its EMAs here on the daily chart, which could lead to maybe a bit of a decline. However, that said, basically we do have this upside line. So in other words, if we drop below this hurdle right here, the 0.8563, then it could still be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying. So again, this one is a bit of a difficult one here. But I'll say that I'm keeping an eye on these two levels for now. If we do push through this barrier, I'll slowly aim for this 0.8618. But then after that, if it continues to climb higher, of course, my next target is the 200-day EMA. And finally, EURUSD. So bit of a rebound here, a bit of a mess, and let me just probably start fresh, because it's not really ideal here. It seems that it's stuck here in between the this area and this area right here. So the 1.1664 and the 1.1909 levels. We're near. Let's see if this is not going to end up being a range here, because again, at the moment it's not really a range. I mean, we're still trading below this downside line right here, taken from the high of the 1st of June, and overall, I mean, we're looking at this picture. It seems more of a kind of a bearish picture here, because we're still trading below some of these downside lines. I mean, there's another one drawn from this peak here, but I'm not going to overcrowd the chart here. For now, yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on this 1.1664 territory. This is the point where we're going to look at this from a broader perspective, because from the very short-term perspective, it's a little bit tricky here. I mean, of course, you could keep an eye on yesterday's low here near the 1.1684, 85 zone. If we get a nice good break below it, then yes, we'll go for this lowest point of August near the 1.1664, which I've mentioned. But it's a very small area here. But again, let's see how this is going to play out. For now, like I said, I cannot say that I'm leaning either to the upside or to the downside here. I'm probably a little bit more on the neutral side, because we're very close to this area right here. In order for me to go for lower levels, I need to see a break below this hurdle, below this 1.1664. In terms of the upside, well, of course, we could keep an eye on the current highest point of this week near the 1.1755. A push above it may lead the pair towards a higher, larger correction to the upside here towards this downside line, and then we will just have to take it from there. But at the moment, guys, I mean, I do apologize, but it's a little bit tricky here on euro dollar, and it's not an ideal picture here, and yeah, for now I'm gonna, for the downside, I need to see it drop well at least below the yesterday's low, but then we do have this lowest point of August, which could also provide a bit of support, and if it does, and then with the pair rebounds from here, then we could be getting ourselves maybe a range here, but too early for that. Let's see let's see how this is going to play out. For now, keeping an eye on these levels, the 1.1664 and the 1.1755 level on the upside. So guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, guys. Really do. So thank you very much for that. If you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, that's 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. So thank you very much, and bye-bye.